What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Digging Deeper podcast this evening. We got special guest Shane Klesh on tonight's podcast. How we doing, Shane?
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me on.
Most definitely. What's going on, James? How you doing, brother, man?
Doing great. Doing great.
Good deal. Good deal. So, to kick off the podcast, we have a few questions for you, Mr. Shane. Hopefully you're ready for quite a bit of questions here.
Yeah, it's like an interrogation. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. An interrogation all about your life. I hope you're excited.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's go ahead and start off with the first and foremost question of all questions that I usually ask all of my guests. What first got you hooked on gold, brother, man?
Well, I don't know if I'm hooked. I think it's more like just a hobby to kind of pass the time.
Right.
I never really got serious about it ever. I'm still not. It's more like once it gets serious, then at that point it's no longer fun, right? So for me, it's all about getting out to the river and just getting away from everybody. That's really
Society.
what started it. Yeah, just go out to the river, enjoy. Like you could do the same thing going fishing. You can say the same thing about hunting. You can say the same thing about picking mushrooms or just going for a hike. You know, it's the same thing, except gold prospecting kind of has a goal to it, whereas a hike is just a walk in the woods, right?
Right. Well, and that's the thing.
It's that one hobby you can make money from.
You can. You certainly can if you get lucky, and that's another cool thing. You might hit the jackpot, you might hit the mother lode and be like, "Holy crap! Look what I found!" You know,
right?
That always makes it a lot more. It's like icing on an already delicious cake, is what I like to say. Gold is just icing on the already cake that you're going to have being out there.
Right, and that's the thing. We got a saying that we say almost every episode, and that's being out there and enjoying yourself, camping, whatever else. That's the fun of it, and then gold's just the bonus.
It really is. It's
what I mean?
Something you can kind of focus on and keep your you're out in the woods already. Like say you're going camping for a week, right? It gets kind of old going to get firewood, and okay, I got enough firewood. All right, I'm gonna go down the river washing dishes or whatever you're doing out there, right? But it's like, hey, I'm gonna go spend half a day out there down at the river. Brought some gold pans and a shovel. Get the wife working,
No,
do all the digging and
right. I wish that was the case, man. That would be nice.
That would be nice. It ain't me either. I'm just saying that would be ideal.
Let your nozzle do your digging. Let your nozzle do your digging.
Right.
Yeah,
there you go.
right.
Or the nozzle. Yeah.
Dredging.
Yeah, that's another nice thing is we were supposed to do a group dig. I want to say last week. I don't remember. I don't keep track of days anymore. I work so much. 2 kids. It's just you're like, okay, what day is it? Oh, okay, it ain't Friday yet. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's 2 full-time jobs then.
That's just what it is, man. That's for sure. Yeah. But that's a nice thing. This weekend we're able to get back over there and get back to it, man. Going over there, like we were just saying, over there in Libby, Montana is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful place, and being able to get out there and you have no cell service. And that's the funny thing too is it's a double-edged sword because you want service with your phone to see what's going on in the outside world, but at the same time you don't. At the same time you just want to turn your phone off. You know?
100%, dude. I'm looking up. The reason it looks like I'm looking away from the camera, I'm looking at where Libby, Montana is, and it's right there, northwestern Montana. That looks awesome, man.
Dude, it's
right by Idaho.
Yeah. It's peaceful, man. It's such a beautiful place. And I mean, and the first thing that I told James the first time I went over there to meet up with him, have lunch and whatnot, properly introduce myself. I was driving past the river there, and once I met up with him, I told him, I said, man, this river is clear. It's just clean. Looks like you can go over there and drink it. And he goes, what?
Kootenai River?
Kootenai.
River.
Kootenai River. Yeah, and it was funny as all heck because he goes, well, what do you mean? Your rivers aren't clean? I said, I live in Spokane, and our river is so damn just muddy and nasty that you don't even – you don't want to even go swimming in it. you might catch something, you know.
All
So
muddy and stuff, right?
yeah, dude. So going over there
Yeah.
is just a breath of fresh air, man. That's for dang sure.
You ever go to the Cabinet Mountain Brewing Company?
I want to. That's one of those on the list.
I see it's right there on the map. It's like big letters, Cabinet Mountain Brewing Company.
Yeah, they got this really cool hotel over there. James was telling me quite a bit of history about Libby. But yeah, it's the I want to say the Salmon Lodge. Is that what it's called? I want to say.
There's a Sandman Motel. There's an Evergreen Motel. I'm not really looking at
what's
everything.
That one you were staying in with the pool? Oh man.
Oh, the Venture Inn. Venture
Inn.
Yeah, so it's the only place in Libby that has an indoor pool, hot tub, yada yada yada. But what's nice about it is all of the people there. They're just extremely friendly and just, you know, even with the whole COVID thing going on right now, you know, everybody there is just excited to see you. It's like,
that's cool.
It's
a plus.
You know how you come home and your kids give you a hug and everybody's excited to see you, you know? That's kind of the feeling I got there when I got there. You know, they're just excited, you know, hey, I'm glad you're staying here. I hope you have a lot of fun, this, that, and the other. And
yeah,
you know,
people want to retire in Florida. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Yeah, tell me about it. Seems like all the majority of the crazy shit going on right now is either coming out of Florida or is happening in Florida. One of the two.
Yeah, California. I'm not a fan. I was just in doing some scuba diving over in California, and the one thing I like the nature out there. It's really awesome once you're away from people, but once there's people around, I don't get along with anybody. So we'll just leave it at that. I like being, like I said before, man. That's like it comes right back around to the gold panning thing.
Yeah.
I go out to the river now. You know, I bring my camera. I don't know if you know, I make YouTube videos and I film it and share it with everybody, and that's what I do.
No, definitely. That's the thing with PB. When I first created it was, you know, a lot of folks do like to do their solo panning. You know, they go out and do their solo thing, and that's awesome. That'll never die. That's one of those things in the miner and prospectors tradition, is to go out and stake your own claim, find your own area, do your own thing, you know. But with PB, it's like there's a lot of folks, especially in nowadays, you know, day and age, where people want to get together with each other and you know, share their stories and make good memories and stuff like
definitely.
that. You know,
there's a whole community that you learn about once you get into this hobby. Yeah, and it's a pretty big community too. And like I get emails all the time. Hey man, can we come out? I'm coming out to Colorado. Can I meet up with you and show me how to go pan for gold? And if I had 10 clones, I'd be happy to. But unfortunately, I don't physically have. There's not enough hours in the day to do that kind of thing, which would be awesome. Yeah. And I have done it plenty of times on my videos. You know, like for instance, about 2 years ago, a family from Oklahoma, they drove up to Colorado, and it was a little kid and the parents. And they wanted him to have a treasure hunting day. So I made a whole video about it. I asked permission, can I film the kid and everything? And they're like, yeah, no problem. So I went out and I hid I bought a bunch of silver coins, or I don't know if I bought them or I had them. I bought a silver ring and I hid all this stuff for the metal detector. So we had the first day was metal detecting. And then the second day we went out to a gold panning area, and it's guaranteed you're going to find gold out there. So, you know, kind of showed him the ropes, and he'll never forget it. Plus there's a video on YouTube. So, you know, that's just one example of, you know, getting together with people, especially the kids, because they're, you know, that's awesome. Like if I was a little kid and someone brought me out panning for gold and metal detecting, I found like, you know, silver dollar, like actual Morgan silver dollars and stuff, I'd be like, whoa, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And that's what's funny too, is, you know, when I was a kid, you know, I had one specific family member that would always be into the treasure aspect of things, you know, and he'd always find all these different finds, whether it was like thrift store finds or this place or that place. And I was just super intrigued. I was super like, wow, you could really find these things, you know? It just blew my mind, you know? And as I got older, once I got into gold prospecting, you know, that rekindled that fire. And it was just like, you know, I just got extremely hooked, man. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
it's
Treasure
just
hunting.
yeah,
It's fun.
exactly. It's
It's
just
a
one
real
of
thing.
yeah, and that's the funny thing too is it is the real thing. You know, when you go
Yeah.
metal detecting, you don't know what you're going to find, especially in certain different states. You know, some states have so much history to them that
Yeah.
you could put 1,000 detectors out there, and
Oh,
they're still
yeah.
not going to get all the stuff that's you know been laid behind.
Back east, like Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine,
Yeah,
Massachusetts,
The
all those
real
places.
history areas of this,
Yeah.
of the country.
Virginia, Delaware. I
Yeah.
found 1,700 coin out in Delaware.
Jeez, that's
It's
crazy.
awesome, dude. Yeah, man. And I was only out there for like 3 hours, you know.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and that's one of those things that I do want to do. I want to quote unquote check off my bucket list, and that would be metal detecting. I haven't got into it yet, but that's something that I really, really freaking want to get into because I'm seeing, you know, not only yourself, I've seen a
Yeah.
couple of other guys that post their videos, and they're finding some of the coolest stuff you could
Yeah.
possibly find.
A lot of that stuff is right in town, like a little
Right.
secret. First of all, you can get into it for under $200. All right, you
Right.
can get into metal detecting. You can get everything you need: the shovel, the detector, the pinpointer. They're like the 3 things you need.
Right.
You can get all that stuff under $200, quality stuff. And in town, this is a great place for beginners. Like right in town, especially cities and stuff. You know, like sidewalk strips where they have like trees and grass, and then there's a sidewalk, and then there's the road. Like there's that sidewalk strip.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
check those because people park their car, they get out, they drop stuff right there, and then they walk into the house. Dude, I found all kind of gold, silver, rings, coins, buckles, like pins, like jewelry, like actual gold diamond jewelry stuff in those sidewalk strips. Definitely check those. They're like the best kept. I don't know if it's a secret or not, but there's a lot of stuff in those.
It isn't anymore.
Not secret anymore.
No, I mean it's pretty common knowledge in the metal detecting community, but there's not that many. The community itself is pretty small, so every sidewalk strip has not been. I mean, pretty much every one that you pick hasn't been touched before. So
Right, and that's
good.
And that's what I was saying. You know, you could stick 1,000 metal detectors out in a specific area, and you still won't get even a quarter of all the history that's still buried. It's it's insane. On that subject with hobbies, one of the questions I wanted to ask you real quick, you know, I've been watching your videos quite a bit, and what's up with the whole mushroom picking, man? What's going on with that, brother? I want fill me in, man. Fill me in on that good stuff.
All right. So ever since, like, my grandparents raised me, right, and my grandfather, ex-Marine, he raised me and my brother to, you know, he was a hunter and a fisherman and an outdoorsman. I think that's where it comes from, right? But when he was raising us, we would eat deer, we would eat rabbit and squirrel and dove and pheasant and grouse and go fishing all the time, and mushrooms. You know, we go foraging, we go get mushrooms, blueberries, and all this stuff. And to me, growing up, it was just second nature to go foraging for mushrooms. Now, this is in Pennsylvania, right? Out there, there's a lot of different species in Pennsylvania compared to what's in Colorado, where I am now. And out in Colorado, it's really dry. So ever since I lived here for 6 years now or so. And this year, 2021, we had, I know that out, you know, west of the Rockies, it's like the worst drought in history.
Oh, yeah.
But east of the Rockies, especially right here in Colorado, it's like the most moisture we've gotten in like 50 years. It's there's people that, you know, like old school mushroom foragers that have been saying that this year is the most mushrooms they've ever seen in their entire life here.
Wow.
So that's why you're seeing all these mushroom videos, because I'm like, every day I'm out there, I'm like, I'm going to go up to 10,000 plus feet and go walk around the forest. And dude, I'm bringing back like tens of pounds of mushrooms.
I saw that. Yeah, it blows my mind. I mean, usually when people go up foraging, they only find, you know, maybe a basket full. Here you are pulling out a dump truck load of mushrooms. It's like, damn, man.
Yeah. And they're not, and like if I was to resell those like to restaurants or whatever, like food markets and farmers markets and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff is like extremely valuable. Like especially I don't know if you watched the morel mushroom video where I was in that burned out area and there's all those mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
Those things are worth like $100, like $100 an ounce dried.
Wow. And what kind of mushrooms are they?
They're
we get
the
a big morale harvest every year here in Montana, and it's the same thing. It's in an
yeah,
area that burnt the year before, and
yeah,
it was just like
yeah.
last when we were fishing. I almost drove over the biggest patch because I didn't even see it. And I
Are
come
they
home
the
with a huge bag of them, and gave them to my mother, and she was happy for weeks.
They're really good. They're you could eat them by themselves. It's like eating a steak or something. They're really good
Really?
flavor.
Yeah.
Oh
Really?
my God, Dan. And I just dehydrate them and then put them in a cup of water before I'm going to cook them, and then they're just like brand new. But I was going to ask you, James, are they the blonde morels or black morels or the gray morels? Or are they something
They're
different?
more of the blonde.
The blondes, yeah, they're really fresh tasting. They're really good. We get those here too earlier in the season.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
awesome.
that's one of the things that I've been wanting to do, but just like metal detecting, man, I haven't actually. I mean, I've done a little bit of knowledge on it, you know, a little bit of research and whatnot, but as far as actually going out and looking for them, and it's funny too because you know now that I think about it, I'm a big outdoorsy kind of guy. You know, I'm a huge extrovert. I'm gone every single weekend.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm camping just about every single weekend. I usually go up north next to the Canadian border, and dude, I see mushrooms all the time along the hillsides. You know,
And you're in
hillsides.
Washington. You're in the best state in the whole country to go. Well, besides Alaska.
Right, and
get
here I am,
mushrooms.
and here I am not picking mushrooms. What the hell have I been doing my whole life?
Dude, you got chanterelles over there. You got morels, chanterelles. I don't know if you have porcini. They're the big ones that I've been finding.
Right.
I know you have oyster mushrooms and you have black trumpets and you've got all these different awesome kinds. Chicken of the woods. I know you have that.
Yeah,
Maitakes, all these different kinds. And really, if all you needed to do to get into it, like an oyster mushroom, for instance, there's nothing else. Like you can't confuse it and get poisoned, right? An oyster mushroom is gonna be an oyster mushroom. It's a white or gray or blue or red, wet feeling mushroom, and you pick them and you break them. They smell fresh. They grow off the side of a tree usually. They're guild mushrooms, and yeah, they're one of the best.
I definitely need to grab a book and
get a book,
yeah.
a day of research, and you'll be picking mushrooms every
Right.
weekend, dude. It's addictive too.
No, I see that. I see that from your videos. It looks
It's fun, man.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And that's the cool thing too, is right around, you know, the area where I camp. You know, it's good streams to hit for gold, really good streams. And then, like I said, the whole mushroom aspect of it, man. I mean, while I'm up there, might as well hit two birds with one stone.
Dude,
I
you have the
mean,
best breakfasts out there with
right.
oyster mushrooms and your eggs and your bacon and stuff. Man, it's
Right.
good.
No, I'm looking forward to that now. That's for sure. Yeah, that's, you know, that, like I said, that's one of the things on, you know, I got this bucket list in my mind, I guess you could say, of all the different things that I want to do, you know, before I get too old to do them. And, you know, mushroom picking, from what I've seen, I mean, I've seen so many mushroom freaking pictures on Facebook recently. It's not even funny.
This year was insane, man. It was crazy.
Yeah. So that's something definitely going to be doing. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I recommend it. If you don't take it, it's just going to rot out there, you know?
Right. No, and that's an extra, and that's another thing you can do while you're out camping. You know, camping, if you camp for, let's say, a week straight, you know, most people don't, you know, it's typically 3-4 days, you know, and then you head back home. But, you know, on that second or third day, you're kind of like, okay, this is kind of played out, you know, kind of cooked. Right. So you got something extra to do, you know, and get your kids involved into it. You know, it's just a whole nother thing, you know, to be able to get into. So,
and that's the thing. Like, and, you know, I don't know who goes out and picks mushrooms that don't know what they are and then eats them, but obviously that's not a good idea. Like there's warnings, like, do not pick mushrooms if you don't. Like, there's actually people that go out there and eat stuff that they don't know what it is.
Oh yeah.
And that blows my mind, but
yeah. That's for anybody watching, if you do want to get into mushroom picking, definitely do a little bit of your research. You know, common sense plays a big part. But then again, like I said, you know, with today's day and age, you just never know. But
right, people might get the wrong idea. Like even in my videos, in my last one, I forgot to mention, like, don't just go picking mushrooms and eating them. They have to be a certain thing. Like I don't give that disclaimer in every video because I in my brain I'm thinking it's common sense. Don't eat something you don't know what it is.
Right.
But then now thinking back at it, it's like maybe I should take that video down because some kid's gonna eat mushrooms and
And come after you.
Add a banner.
and they'll come again. They'll take my channel away. I don't know.
Add a banner.
Yeah, add a little banner that goes across the bottom of the board or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Do not try this at home.
Yeah, do not try this at home. Yeah, risky business. That's for sure. So let's see here. So I got another really good question for you. Let's see here if I can read my chicken scratch. So what inspired you to start Klesh Gold Pay Dirt? That's one of those questions.
Yeah.
That's one of those questions that I feel that all of the viewers need to know. You know, it's one of those hidden questions that hasn't been asked yet, and I think
there's a really good answer.
So yeah, so let's hear it.
All right, so I have a YouTube channel, Klesh on YouTube, and it's a treasure hunting channel. And during this, I started my channel back in like 2016 or 2017. I don't even know, one of those 2 years. And I would go out to the river, pan for gold, make a video, and that was great during the summer or in fall and stuff, right? And then winter rolled around. I'm like, all right, well, if I don't put a video out at least once every couple days, YouTube's not going to recommend my videos to anybody, so I have to have some sort of content.
Right.
So Miller Prospecting, he gets the credit because he's the first YouTube pay dirt reviewer channel I've ever seen, and probably the only one that existed at that point anyway. He's like the originator, I would say. I was like, oh, that's cool. You could buy bags of dirt from anywhere with gold in it, and I could just do that for the winter months while I can't get out to the river and still have my content, do this and this, do that, and just make it a thing. So yeah, that's what I started doing, man. Especially during the winter months, I started buying these bags of pay dirt, making videos. The videos started out really crappy quality, and then they got better and better, and now they have like a specific format, and people go nuts over them. They're like by far my most popular videos.
That's awesome.
And so what I learned after doing, now I'm at like episode 110 or something.
Wow.
I learned that the vast majority of these companies are just ripping people off. Like they're just taking people's money. So you know where I'm going with this. That's why I started my company, because these they're absolutely ripping people off. It's giving kids that get these things a bad, not just kids, but anybody that buys these products. They're like, oh, panning for gold. Okay, this bag cost me $100. They pan it out to get $3 worth of gold. It's like, that wasn't much fun. And then they lose interest in the hobby completely. So that's kind of why I started my pay dirt company at kleshgold.com. And I have like 6 different products. And they're all like, the thing about my pay dirt is it's difficulty level. So if you're a beginner, I have a beginner bag. If you're an expert, I have an expert bag. If you're crazy, I have the impossible bag. There's all different levels. So yeah. And all of my pay dirt is guaranteed a minimum amount of gold. So you can't not get ripped off. You cannot do it.
Right. What made you decide to do the different intermittent levels? Yeah, what made you want to do that?
I think it was somebody's comment on YouTube. They're like, I don't really know. It just made sense to me. I think, I kind of figured a lot of kids are going to be getting into it, and if they're doing like something with a lot of black sand in it, it might be a little too hard for a kid. But if you give them a bag of dirt with just pickers in it and just like all the black sand removed, that's what I do for my beginner bags. There's no flakes or nothing. It's just pickers. And you just pan through it. It's like, oh, that was easy. It's like a difficulty 2 out of 10. It is.
Right. No, that's awesome.
1 out of 10. And then like once you get a couple of those going, you might want to try the next level up, which is the gold blast bag. And you get a full gram of gold there, and it's pickers plus you get some flakes you got to pick out, and there's some black sand and stuff in there too. So it makes it a little bit trickier. It's like a 5 out of 10. And then it just gets more difficult from there. More black sand, smaller gold.
Right.
And then the impossible bag, I just went bananas with it. I bought like powdered tungsten and garnet sand. I went to Washington Beach and I got all the
nasty,
magnetic and non-magnetic black sand, and it's all flour gold. It's like impossible.
That's so mean.
It's bad. Yeah.
No, that's
black sand hell. So
somebody called it, one of my somebody on YouTube called it like brimstone directly from hell is what they called it. So I was proud when they said that one.
No, that's awesome. You know,
And
essentially
it's only $30. Only $30.
right. And that's the thing. That's what I really, really like about the different bags that you have is you're essentially helping the beginner prospector learn how to pan on their own by different difficulty levels.
Sure.
And then
Yep.
what is the price points from the first bag to the last for all the viewers watching if they want to go grab themselves a bag and try it out and all that good stuff?
I didn't run away. I just stopped
No,
over
you're
here to
good.
grab a couple bags. So they start out, these are $15. Let's just call it crumbs, gold crumbs, pay dirt. And it comes, there's like little gemstones and things in there. Sometimes I throw a guitar pick in there, like these custom Klesh guitar picks and stuff I throw in there for kids.
Yeah.
And they're $15 and they're about a 3 out of 10 difficulty. And I cannot keep these in stock. So if you want them, $15.
Wow.
Right. And that's my cheapest item right there. And then I've got the beginner bag.
I don't think you were prepared for me to ask about all these.
No, that's cool, man. If somebody buys them, it's great. If you don't know about it, now you know. These are the beginner bags. You could see 1/4 gram guaranteed. And these are $30. 1/4 gram of gold, $30, right?
That's not bad at all. Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's great for kids and people brand new to gold panning. It's just pickers and very easy. There's hardly any black sand in those. We take most of the black sand out.
Oh, that's
and then
awesome.
Stepping up from there, we go to the more difficult stuff. This is like a step up. This is the gold strike. There's a 1/2 gram of gold in these, and those are $50. And these have more black sand in them, and it does have flour gold, but it's not a lot. So
you're
like
you're getting up
7
there.
out of 10. Yeah, it's like a 7 out of 10 difficulty, and those are $50. This one here, this is like my best seller now, the Gold Blast. You get a full gram of gold. They're $85, and it's like a difficulty 5 out of 10. So it's basically like a beginner bag, but there is smaller gold in it.
Right.
And there's black sand, but it's not as tough as a strike bag, and there's a lot more gold in it.
No, that's awesome. That's absolutely
and then
awesome.
I have the Impossible bag. They're $30, and 1, 2, 3. I have 6 different products. Oh, the Expert bag too. So all that stuff is on kleshgold.com.
Yeah, anybody that wants to go ahead and grab one, right there at the bottom, there's the website there. Go ahead and jump over there. If winter's right around the corner. If you guys want a good product, and something to do during the wintertime, if you don't have any cons sitting around, anything like that, I highly suggest jump over there, grab yourself a bag, man.
And while the live stream is going, I actually set up a discount code during this show only. If you go over to kleshgold.com right now, I don't want this to sound like a commercial, but it's 10% off. If you want to buy some, it's 10% off right now. Just use the code LIVE, LIVE, and you can get yourself some pay dirt.
That's awesome.
And you won't be disappointed. It is the best you'll ever get.
No, definitely, man. I mean, I've seen all of the reviews, like I said, and winter's right around the corner, man. That's a huge aspect with gold mining and prospecting is the simple fact that, wintertime, we're all in the house, and we still have that fever. It's not like that fever just magically goes away, so.
Right. Yeah. It's like, those poor guys in Alaska. It's like you can only mine 3 months out of the year. Like now mining season's pretty much almost over. So.
Yeah. I give those guys over there a lot of props for what they do, man. I'd love to get over there just to experience it, just to try it, just to see kind of what they got going on and the type of gold that they're pulling. That would be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. I found the biggest nugget I ever found in Alaska. The biggest one. It was under a gram, but it was still the biggest one I ever found.
That's awesome. Oh, that's one of those things on the bucket list that I want to go ahead and cross off one of these days.
Dude, it's cheap to fly there too. It's not that expensive. You're already in Washington. Right. I mean, how far is it? Hop on a plane, probably $70 to fly up there.
It's a popular flight out of your state anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Out of Washington to Alaska, that's
yeah, dude. What you can do, like even if you fly
out of Seattle.
Right. Yeah. A lot of the fishing up there and everything, like you could fly into Anchorage and it's like maybe an hour drive south to like Seward and Moose Pass and Crow Creek Mine and Whittier and all those areas, dude.
Right.
There's so much gold in there and like gold panning places. It's just like if you've never been there, it's like looking at a postcard. Like you already live in Washington where it's already like a postcard.
Right,
No,
right.
Alaska's like that on steroids. It's like
Dude,
the mountains come right out of the ocean, like, and there's snow capped. It's crazy, man. It's awesome.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I watched quite a few folks over there doing their dredging thing on the beach. I forgot what his name is. I want to say his name is Brian Wilder, if I remember right. He's doing that beach gold mining, and that dude's just that dude's
over
crazy,
Nome,
man.
Probably.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That dude's crazy. I give him a lot of props for what he does over there. That's for damn sure.
The giant long sluice boxes.
Yeah.
Work it hard. Work those beach sands up in Alaska, up in Nome, and you can make a profit. But you got to work really hard.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah. You got to work, man.
It.
It's all fines. It's all fines. But there's a lot of it.
And that's crazy how Nome, for a lot of people who don't know, over in Nome, how the gold actually accumulates on the beach. It's an every single year reoccurrence with tide coming in and tide coming out, bringing that gold onto that beach. And it's just insane. It's an insane way how Mother Nature, is able to do what it does over there in Nome, Alaska. It's phenomenal,
what
man.
replenishes itself yearly is
dude.
For sure.
It's the Columbia River between Washington and Oregon. I'm sure you're familiar with it. Where it meets the Atlantic Ocean, there's a place in Washington you've probably heard of called Cape Disappointment.
Yep.
And it's another beach gold mining place. Same thing there. I was there earlier. What was it? Last year or this year? I was there, I think, earlier this year. And it's the same thing. The Columbia River, the tide comes in, it brings the fresh gold in, and you can mine that entire beach. And it's just that really fine black sand, and it's impossible to work.
Impossible. Yeah, I've seen a couple of pay dirt bag reviews from a few different websites quite a while ago that what did they name their bag?
Something like "Don't do this" or something.
Yeah, don't try this.
Don't
buy this or something. Yeah, it was something crazy, but that's just what it boils down to is a lot of the pay dirt sellers out there right now doesn't really have that beginners to expert level pay dirt to be able to purchase and try out.
I think there's one other guy that does it. I think.
Yeah,
but he has like 3 levels, like beginner, intermediate, and tough, or something like that. I think there's only one other guy.
Well, I don't know who started or invented it or whatnot, but I think it's a phenomenal idea for all the vets that can't get out panning, for all the people who just can't get out or don't live in an area close enough where they can actually get out and get gold. Dude, that is just a phenomenal idea. Instead of having just one bag, there you go, this is my product.
Yeah, you have your choice of how tough you want it to be. If you get into it. If you think you're tough and you want to try an impossible bag, good luck, dude.
Right.
Not recommended.
That's just it, though, man. Being able to have that selection is freaking awesome, man. It's just an awesome idea.
Kind of made sense at the time, and it still makes sense. So,
I'm sure you get a lot of good reviews on it too, man. I mean, I don't doubt with having different expertise levels. People are probably like, hey, I didn't really like this bag, but I really freaking like this bag. I'm really learning the ropes,
Well, there's one little problem with my pay dirt, and it's that the material that I use, that I go collect out at the river, is actual real Colorado gold-bearing concentrates, right?
Right.
So there's gold in it as I get it. And the problem is the gold that it is usually really fine flour gold. And when I'm making these bags of pay dirt, even the beginner bags, people are panning the beginner and they're like, oh, we're finding flour gold. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Shit.
I didn't mean for that, but it's, I still add at least a 1/4 gram on top of that. So that's kind of like a bonus. But at the same time, people are finding it and then emailing me. Like, we're finding extra gold. It's a good problem to have, but
it is a good problem, but a problem nonetheless. Yeah,
right,
a problem nonetheless.
I'm not going to pan through everything and remove all the flour gold and then give you. I go through 1,000 bags, man. Like I think we're at like 3,000 orders, and we've only been doing it for 1 year.
That's
first
awesome.
year we really did. Honestly, man, I was going to stop the company because I didn't have time.
Right.
And so what I did was I told Heather, my girlfriend, I'm like, I don't have time to do this pay dirt company. I'll teach you how to do it. You can quit your job and you can do this.
Yeah.
Or I just have to get rid of it.
Right.
But she's like, all right, she agreed to learn how to do it. But I still have to go to the river and get the dirt. So that's,
Oh, yeah.
I still get the bad end of the deal.
You still have the physical aspect of it. Yeah.
She still makes, she does all the easy stuff here, making the bags and doing the paperwork and sending out the orders. And I'm out there digging.
Oh, yeah. Physical labor.
You know what I mean?
That's how it works, man.
Can't win.
No,
I got to get her to learn how to dig.
Exactly, man.
She hears me. She's yelling at me right now. She can hear me downstairs.
I was going to say she's probably on her way. Her way. So watch yourself.
She'll be throwing stuff up the stairs at me. I guarantee that.
Well, it looks like it's about that time for some questions from the viewers. For everybody watching, if you guys have any questions, I've seen a couple of questions pop up. I'm going to scroll back up through the comments here and start reading some of them. But for anybody that's watching right now, if you have any specific questions for Mr. Shane, go ahead and put them down there in the comment box. I'm going to go ahead and start reading through some of these and go from there.
I don't want to buy any of your Girl Scout cookies before you ask.
Hey, Girl Scout cookies are so damn good, man. I can't get enough of them.
They are good.
And it's funny how they lure you into them too. You know, you're going to the store for like tomatoes and some sandwich meat or this, that, and the other.
Sir, would you like to buy a box of cookies for $5?
Yeah. And you're like,
of course. Like,
you're like, where have you been my whole life?
Yeah. What do you need? One box? Come on. I think anybody that says they bought
I want 4 boxes. You always buy 4
liar.
boxes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Anybody that says they only buy one is a liar. That is damn true,
absolutely a liar.
And it's funny too because they have their selective flavors, and then every single other year they come out with like a brand new one that's like this absurd, crazy name, and you're like, dude, that Samoan / peanut butter drizzled bear claw sounds so good, you know?
Yes. Yep.
Let me get 3 boxes, please. By the time you left the store, you didn't even get your tomato. You didn't even get your sandwich meat. You probably got your loaf of bread, and that's about it. That's all you got.
That's all you wanted, but they end up going home with cookies.
Yep. Never fails.
We got some questions.
Right. Yeah, let's see here. Let's see what we got going on. Let's start off with... Let's see. We got Sergio. He says, hello, guys. We got Sean Ingalls. And if I pronounce your last name wrong, please do not smack me. I try my best with the last names. Sean Ingalls says, what's up, guys? How is everybody tonight? Good, brother, man. Sean says, hi, Shane. Let's see. Rob McGuire says, sounds like Northwest Ohio River, all muddy, nasty water. You can't see nothing in. The area was the black swamp back in the day. Yes, that is how our river is. We had a sewage explosion 6 or 7 years ago, and all of the rocks in the river are now covered with the nastiest, slimiest, stinkiest stuff you can imagine. Let's see. Mr. Malcolm says, evening, Jaron, James, and all buddies. What's going on, brother, man? Let's see here. Jeffrey says, certainly we need more camaraderie. That's just what it is, man. Especially nowadays, more than ever. Camaraderie is where it's at in the mining and prospecting community. That's for damn sure. Let's see. Jeffrey says, landscaper here in Georgia has creek on property. Taught him to pan. He's got fever. That's awesome, man. Having a creek running through your property, boy, wouldn't that be nice?
That would be great, man.
Grab your cup of coffee. Go out back, grab your pan.
That would be sweet.
Dude, that would be awesome. When they say, what do they say with the culinary, with the food industry from farm to table or something like that? That's basically how it would be for you, Shane, right? From your backyard creek to your pay dirt bags.
Dude, I would build my deck right out to the water, so I don't even have to leave my house. I could just like bend down, bend and stoop, and just right there at my deck, and have my coffee, have a coffee pot there, have a gun there, so I could shoot my dinner too. That'd be great.
Pick your mushrooms at the same time.
Pick mushrooms right off the tree.
Oh, let's see here. We got Mr. Andrew. He says, hey, Shane. I was so wrong earlier, but hey, ... James says, oh, no. Okay, so Malcolm says, mushrooms good on the BBQ. Yes, I personally love cooking with mushrooms on the barbecuer. I think every single shrimp kebab I've ever made had a big, giant mushroom on it. And I can only imagine the feeling you'd get, because you know how it is. You know, you open up the barbecue and you're like, you know, it's like you go to a store and you know those bags of fertilizers, the pallets of fertilizer you walk by.
Yep.
You
Yep.
always slap them bad boys. You just have a tendency to want to slap it.
You're right. I never realized why, but
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you slap it, I guess, to make sure it's good to go, I guess. I mean, who knows?
It just feels nice to slap them.
Yeah. And that's the thing with the barbecuer. You know, you pop that bad boy open, you're like, oh man, I'm about to use the hell out of you this evening. You know, you slap your ribs down and your mushrooms and
oh man, I'm getting hungry, man.
Tell me about it. Same here.
Thinking about steaks.
I know,
Sean,
steaks.
Sean asks, Shane, have you ever foraged for lobster or chicken mushrooms? So I have not foraged for the lobster mushrooms, but the chicken of the woods mushrooms, yes. In Pennsylvania, I found pounds and pounds of them. And I think they're a little bit old because they were a little bit woody, but I still ate them, and they were, I just cut the harder parts off of them, and man, they were pretty good.
That's awesome.
We get the chicken of the woods here in Montana.
Yeah, they're like the big orange, like on the side of the tree. Yeah, they're good.
That's awesome. Maybe we, when we get up to your claim next weekend, James, let's spend an hour or two. I know we're not gonna. I know we're not gonna get.
They're on the other side, up there, downstream about a quarter mile.
You got to go for a little hike.
Yeah. Yep. I know we're not gonna get Adam off that damn dredge nozzle, but I think me and you can escape away for an hour or two and look for some mushrooms. I think that'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah, there's other things we got to do as well.
Oh yeah, tons of fun stuff to do over there. That's for sure. Let's see here. Arrow says, howdy ho, neighbors. What's up, brother man? And then Malcolm Roberts, gold tops are pretty good over here in Aussie land. Gold tops. So I'm assuming gold top mushrooms. Yeah.
Sounds like a mushroom.
Yeah. Sean says, I know they have them in the Midwest and Eastern states. Not sure if they're out in Colorado. Let's see. Andrew says, shout out to Dylan Miller Prospecting from earlier. Amazing channel.
Yeah, he's great.
Let's see. Andrew says, I'm a Miller Prospecting patron supporter. He inspired me to make pay dirt bags. You know, I got to go jump over to his page now and subscribe. I got to jump over there and see what he's all about.
He's the OG, man. He started before me. He's the reason why he's where I got the idea to make the pay dirt videos. And I mentioned that in my very first video, my episode number 1. I give him a shout out. He used to be called Gold Pay Dirt Reviews or something like that, or I forget the name of his original channel. Now it's called Miller Prospecting. But yeah,
that's awesome. Well, if you're watching this or you end up watching this, shout out to you, brother man. You inspired 2 different folks so far. Yeah. I'm sure probably many, many more.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting. That's how he says it. Watch one of his videos. You'll rewatch this after you watch his video, then you'll get a laugh.
That'll probably be right on the money, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, it's pretty close.
All right, let's see. Mike says, I like this guy's commentary, and I can say as a beginner, I'm learning my lessons, and you may possibly understand where I'm coming from for such a big investment. Yes, brother man, totally understandable. Most definitely. Let's see. Frank says, good watching Aussie gold hunters and prospecting buddies. Well, it's good to have you, Frank. Good to have you on the podcast this evening. Like I said, we got a special guest, Mr. Shane Klesh. He was able to make it, and so far, so good. Let's see. Sean.
So far, so good.
Sean Ingalls. I may try Klesh's Expert Dirt. LOL. All I pan in North Carolina is smalls and fines. Haven't found my honey hole yet.
Yep. Yeah. The Expert bags, you're going to get a lot of black sand. Most of it's going to be magnetic, so you can remove most of it if you want to. If you wanted to go tougher, go Impossible. There's non-magnetic black sands in there, and tungsten, which is heavier than the gold. So it's, Expert. I wouldn't recommend Impossible to anybody unless it's my worst enemy. Then I'm not a very good salesman, but I'm just letting you know how it is. If you think you're tough, I challenge you to do some Impossible.
Right, and then for anybody that just jumped on, what special are you running this evening, Mr. Klesh?
Oh, yeah. So during the live stream, if you want to buy some pay dirt, It's very affordable. It's guaranteed minimum amounts of gold, so you're not going to get ripped off. It's 10% off anything at kleshgold.com, which is scrolling for me. It's right there. You go over there, 10% off any pay dirt order. Just use the code LIVE, LIVE, and you'll get 10% off your order. And there's gold panning kits over there. There's all kind of, snuffer bottles and squirt bottles and pans, all that stuff that you would need is also at kleshgold.com.
Perfect. All righty, we got another question here by Arrow. He says, does Shane spend any time on the Arkansas River?
Yeah, so I used to, because I used to live in Cannon City, Colorado, about a year and a half ago. They're over the summer there, or 2 summers ago, or something like that. Last summer, I don't even remember. But I used to go down to the Arkansas River, right there in Cannon City and around it. And yeah, I found some little gold there, smaller flakes and flour gold. Yeah, it's nice, man. It was really high the year I was living there. It was almost impossible to get down into the river, but I still was able to find some crevices and things and move some bigger rocks up on the shore and get down in there. But yeah, Arkansas River's awesome. A great spot in Colorado to find gold.
That's awesome. All right, let's see here. Keith says, what's up, fellas? What's going on, brother man? All right, Paul says, the Columbia River gold was transported by the Columbia River dredge ship up to, I think I read that wrong. Let me re-say that. The Columbia River gold was transported by the Columbia River dredge ship up to the Washington coastline and deposited on the shelf, and the extreme high tides and storms pushed it into the shoreline. Any gold coming out of the Columbia River is pushed to the Oregon beaches because the ocean tide currents go south. That is awesome. That is good to know.
Oh, so maybe we should, instead of going to Cape Disappointment, go down to the Oregon side and try that. I haven't thought of that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've heard good things and bad things about the Oregon coast. I've personally been down there. I've been down to a couple of the tourist cities, Seaside.
Astoria.
Yep. Yeah. No, that whole area is freaking awesome, man. It's just a gorgeous area.
I like it.
I think the only I wouldn't even call it a downfall, I would say, is the weather is so unpredictable.
Yeah.
Extremely unpredictable. Yeah. I went out.
Expect rain.
Right. I went out there. I don't remember what time of the year it was. It was preferably in spring, I want to say, or summer. And first day we got there, drove about 7.5 hours to get there. It was nothing but rain and high wind. And I expected it. I looked at the forecast as I always do. And it was funny. We woke up in the morning and didn't close the blinds all the way in the hotel. And we were completely blinded. It was 78 degrees, sunshine, no winds, no nothing.
That's weird.
Yeah, man. And so we went down to the beach. We were just, enjoying ourselves all day, checked out the town. And then the next day we woke up and it was, 58 degrees, 20-mile-an-hour winds, rain. I was just like, what the hell is going on? So we stayed indoors. And then the day we went to leave first thing in the morning, 80 degrees, sunshine. It's just like, what the hell is going on here?
Wow. Was that right on the coast, you said?
Yeah. Seaside, Oregon is right there along the beach there. And it's a gorgeous little area. They have a lot of hotels set up right there on the beach. And, the hotel reservations are cheap. They're not that expensive. They're manageable, and it's gorgeous.
Goonies was filmed right there.
Yeah. Yep.
That's where the Goonies was filmed.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool little town. Everybody's really friendly. And if anybody ever gets down there, there's this freaking lobster house, or it's like a seafood house. And it's a mother and daughter own this place. I don't know if they own it anymore. But their clam chowder and their lobster chowder, I shit you not, is the best I've ever had in my entire life anywhere I've went. Better than Red Lobster. Yeah, it's right there in Seaside in the little touristy area.
It's Crab House.
Yeah, there it is. Yes.
The Crab House.
Yep. Yeah,
I am going.
Dude, it is so delicious, man. And
4 stars.
Yeah, dude. And it's $8 for the little bowl of chowder, and you don't need saltine crackers. We'll put it that way. You leave them damn things away from the bowl, and you
chunky,
just eat.
Huh?
Oh, dude,
wow.
It's so good. So good.
Dude, All this
So
food
good.
talk, man. I'm gonna have her cook me up a steak and stuff
I didn't eat before
after this show.
Oh, all right. Let's see some more comments here. Let's see. Chuck Butler says, "Hey guys, I forgot about the show tonight. I'm out panning." He says, "Klesh, you're the man."
You're the
yeah.
man, Chuck.
Hell yeah, good deal. Keith says,
Hey,
"Shout out. Shout out from Western Pennsylvania gold prospectors." Keith, man, you got some good ground over there, brother, man. Really good ground. I don't know if you do some detecting over there, but he definitely needs to do some detecting over there from what it sounds like. That's for sure.
Yeah. Pennsylvania is one of the most. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. It's probably, if not Virginia or Delaware, it's like the most, or Massachusetts. That whole northeastern part of the United States. If you have a metal detector, you're like in heaven because like there's so much cool stuff out there. You come out to Colorado or anywhere west of the Mississippi, really, I mean, there's some Civil War stuff here and there. You know, Texas has some stuff. Louisiana has some cool stuff. But up in Northeast, get yourself a metal detector too.
Yeah, definitely, dude. All the wars and stuff that they have going on over there, man. I mean, just the amount. And you know what's really cool, now that we're on the topic real quick, like before I get back to the comments, the amount of different homestead, quote unquotes, that they used for amputations, this, that, and the other. They would just find a place that was big enough to house, a certain amount of troops, and they would just use that place for, weeks and weeks on end. Imagine how many people stepped outside real quick to write a letter to home or this, that, or the other, and left their stuff sitting right next to the tree. And over years and years and years of rain and this, that, and the other, weatherization, it's just all sitting there still.
It's still there, man. These old camps, these Civil War camps where they camp for the night and they just sit there. They're crossing a river. They drop a pouch full of bullets or coins. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah.
They all had fires. They all had campfires. They all threw trash in the fire too. All that stuff is still there.
Yep. Yeah, I saw. I'm part of a bottle digging group page, and from time to time I'll jump on there, see what kind of bottles. I'm not too interested in the whole bottle digging thing, but a lot of the guys back east, they're finding bottles that are extremely old and antique and worth a ton of money. And these guys have these insane bottle collections, just massive, that they have a whole display wall, and it's just like, wow, dude.
That's the reason I don't bottle dig, because I don't have enough room, because that's another hobby that I just couldn't.
Well, that's like what we were talking about with Rob last week, though, is specifically like for an example in Montana, you can get on an old claim and you can date it by the trash that's on it alone.
Right.
The cans from this era are going to have this certain pull top on them. The bottles,
the seams and everything. Right.
The steel will be stamped out, or it'll be pot steel or something, And so that tells you a lot about what's going on with the ground you're on and reading the ground that you're in. And also looking at the rock and all that stuff. This big cobble, digging it, because you probably know that it wasn't efficient. So there's probably really good gold still sitting right there. But yeah, I mean, that's how you can date a place and know nobody's been there in a long time.
Yeah. No, definitely, man. It's crazy the type of history that's back east, as far as the Civil War and all the different wars that were going on over there. And then, you come over to California and you have all of the gold rush, all of that history as well, man. That's just, all the old long toms they would use, and all of that. As you guys know, all of that equipment wasn't very efficient. Right. They were going after, they were going after the quick, big stuff. They weren't going after the finer stuff, the smaller stuff, the little pickers, this, that, and the other. And the history is just crazy. This actually makes me want to jump online and get me a gold detector tonight. So thanks, Shane, for pushing me to get one.
There's some awesome gold out by where you're at, like bigger gold.
Oh yeah.
Detectors, like in Colorado, we do. Don't get me wrong. There is places to go to find actual gold with a detector that's big enough to find it with a detector. But out in like Washington and California, Oregon, and Nevada, Arizona. You guys know out there, you guys have like nuggets, Australia. I mean, dude, Alaska.
Oh yeah. No, this is actually some of the goodies that I have found. I guess you can't really.
Oh yeah, I can
really
see it now.
See.
Oh wow, you got
really
some nice pieces in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, the funny thing is when I first was prospecting, like I said, a family member got me into the whole ordeal, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And I love to camp up north, about 10 miles away from the Canadian border. And the funny thing is a lot of good gold is up there in those streams and in those spots up there, up past Sullivan Lake area. You know,
Sullivan Lake,
Sullivan Lake campground-ish area. You go further up north, and you keep, you know, there's so many different little trails that go up there. And you know,
I see along the Pendorial River.
Pendorial River. Yeah.
Pendorial River. Okay.
Yep. No,
I like to know and geographically what you're talking. That's why I have the maps up. I'm always like, don't mind me. I'm like, I need to know where this stuff is.
You know where this is right now.
That's my hot spot. That's where I get all of my gold, and it's a phenomenal place, man. I got a few
buddies. Is that
buddies.
National Forest? Is there or do you have a claim?
Come visit you over there.
So that's
over to Montana. I want to get to your side.
Yeah, I need to bring you and Adam up there. That's so that part up there is the Colville National Forest. Yep. And that place up there is just insane, dude. It is it is just an amazing place.
So here's a question. If I wanted to go panning for gold up there and I don't have a claim, I'm just a regular guy with a gold pan and a shovel, can I go up there and do that?
Yeah, most definitely. As far as high banking, river sloughs, this, that, and the other, well, I mean, it's kind of a gray area. The Washington Fish and Gold pamphlet right now, every single year it seems like they're always revising something and making it worse and worse. So, I mean, you just have to bring one of those bad boys with you, have it on hand. But yeah, if you want to go up there with a pan and go to town, you're more than welcome,
dude.
Yep.
Like when I went to Cape Disappointment, Washington this year, it like last year was the final year, or this year or whatever was when you could actually take material from the place with you.
Now
it has to be processed before you take it. It's like and they keep making it harder and harder for regular guys like us that just want to go out and have a good day. We're not going out there to destroy the land. If anything, we're cleaning up. Like if I see trash, I'm bringing it with me. You know what I mean? Like they should be thanking us. Not
fishing line, lures, freaking old garbage. Yep.
Yeah. It's like they're punishing us for doing the right thing.
That's exactly what they're doing. You know, anytime I go up north, I easily head back with 3 or 4 trash bags full of shit. Every single time, man. Every single time. It never fails.
Good, man. That's awesome.
Well, I look at it this way, man. You know, when I bring my kids up there and whatnot, you know, I don't really, when I do bring my kids up there to go camping, it's specifically for camping, fishing, you know, not really gold panning. I do time and time again, but they're still young enough to where, you know, they're not really, you know, interested that much. Once they get a little bit older, you know, I'll reintroduce it to them. Of course, when we're at home, you know, I set up my 3-in-1 recirc in the garage, and all 3 of us just go to town running dirt. But as far as being out there, there's so many extra things for them to go and do. You know what I mean? That they're just kind of like, Dad, I really don't want to dig in dirt.
Keeping them locked in on one thing.
Yeah. It's hard to keep a kid's focus in the middle of the woods. Like it's like trying to tell a dog in the middle of the woods to not smell everything.
Just to sit down.
Right.
Impossible.
Be chasing every chipmunk and squirrel and bird and bug and everything else.
Yep.
Everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it's a nice area up there, and what's really, really freaking cool about that area. I don't want to say too much, you know, about the specific area, but then again, you know, I really don't mind, you know, if people need new ground to try out. But anyways, the really, really nice thing that I like about up there is how much different runoff creeks you get from the higher up elevations. So you could be driving and you'll find a massive runoff here, and you're like, oh, I want to try that out. You go hiking up there, you spend 3-4 hours, you know, finding bits of gold here and there. You know, you drive up another dirt road, boom, there's another runoff of you know, glacier water coming down or mountain water, you know, and you go up there and try it out.
Dude, I'm looking at a map right now of this Pendorial. I don't know how to pronounce
Pendorial.
it. Pandorial River, and there's a lot of bedrock I can see.
Yeah,
I see bedrock.
It's gorgeous
in
up there.
Certain places.
I found, so what's funny is I was looking to stake a claim up there last year, beginning of last year. That was when I first was starting prospecting, buddy. I found a claim up there that had been claimed, and what's crazy is the land had been tested and whatnot back in 1921, and I'm like, wow, that got me super interested. And nobody put a claim on it up until 1970, and then they had the claim from 1970 to 1973 and then let it expire. And so I was checking the actual claim out, the access to water, so on and so forth, and it just looks like a phenomenal place. The crappy thing is, well, I wouldn't say crappy, is Prospecting Buddy has really taken off in all aspects. And so I've been so busy with everything going on with Prospecting Buddy, everything going on, over at your claim, James. And so I just haven't had the time to get up there and properly inspect it, check it out, put a claim on it, and so, so on and so forth. So hopefully nobody's grabbed it yet. Next year, I'm definitely going to be grabbing it myself, and then we'll have a lot of fun.
I'll help you post it. We need to get over there.
Yeah.
I'll help you post up those four corners. For sure.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it too, the crazy thing about the claim itself is it's extremely hard to get to. It's not one of those you just drive off the main road. It's extremely hard to get to, and it looks like as if it's more of an ATV road, a UTV ATV road than it is an actual car a road to get a car through. But I'm sure I can get my truck through there one way or another. I wouldn't doubt it one bit.
You know where we've taken my Tacoma.
Oh, yeah. No, if I can get my truck through there, I'm sure I can get my truck through up north. That's for dang sure.
You got a Tacoma too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I got one too. Yeah. I got a 2019 off-road.
Same year.
Oh, yeah?
Mine's a charcoal gray.
Oh, cool.
I just love that thing.
Yeah, mine's gray as well.
That's funny. It seems like I love the hell out of those trucks. Reason being is they're extra little plugins in the back truck bed.
Oh yeah, in the back.
I've never seen that. I've never seen it.
Yeah,
never seen it. So
it's a great vehicle.
You got to charge anything in, and it's funny too. When I went over to James' place, I'm like, "You going to turn your truck off there, James?" Nope, I got things charging. I'm like, "What?" Went and checked in the back of the truck, and he had this and that. Charging them
right there.
With every plug-in plugged in and charging.
Yeah, it's an awesome truck.
Yeah. So, all right, let's see what else we got going on here. We got some more comments, and then right after these comments, we'll go ahead and take a 5 and grab something to drink. Let's see here. Let's see. Chuck says, "Thanks for helping design the Arbor classifier."
Yep.
You
Yeah.
want to speak about that?
Yeah. So I don't have any directly next to me, but so the world's best, not my opinion, this is fact. It's the world's best classifier. It's handmade, heavy duty. It's made by a company that contacted me called Arbor Fabricating, and what they do is they make filters for they actually make filters for NASA, and they make filters for like coffee companies. There you go.
Show a picture.
Yeah, that's it. Go. And if you can see on that picture, there's a handle there. They had sent me one. It was their idea to use it as a classifier for gold prospecting. It fits perfectly in a bucket. It fits down inside the bucket, so it doesn't sit on top of the bucket. It actually goes down in it, and you grab by the handle, you turn it back and forth, and it, instantly classifies your material. It's the best thing ever, man. It's worth it. They're $80, but they're worth every penny. Trust me.
And they look heavy duty built.
Oh, they'll last forever, man. But the handle on it, when they sent me one, it was like a flimsy wire type of thing. And I was like, why don't you just weld on like a piece that is what they use now? So
that's awesome.
Now they were pretty good, but they were really hard to you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's perfect, man. You want one. If you don't have one, you need one. Yeah. You need one.
I just saw that. I got kind of excited. I'm like, I'm all about new stuff that works even better.
If anybody wants a discount code, just post it in the. You know what? I'll put it in the comments if anybody on Facebook.
There you go.
If you want,
yeah, there you go.
Discount code.
Yeah, it's funny because our first PB group dig that we did was over in Riggins, Idaho, and Mr. I want to say who had that. I want to say Doug had it. Where did I use one at? Damn it! I want to say Doug Morris had one. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I had never seen the thing before. But once we started shovel in the amount that you could put in that bad boy, and you just hold the handle like this and go back and forth.
For the best thing ever, man.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, like I always try to mention it whenever I think about it, but at the same time, like even on this live stream, like talking about I don't like things to feel like a commercial. But it really, I wouldn't promote it if it wasn't the best. Like you need one, trust me.
Right.
Like do. Like you'll thank me for getting one. So that's why I like talking about it.
100%, dude. Whoever designed that, and that's the funny thing too, is like your typical classifier, you're only able to get about that much into your
These
classifier.
Things go all the way down in the bucket. It's completely submerged. You turn it 3 or 4 times. You throw out the rocks, and you can't shovel fast enough. You're classifying that fast. You can't do that with any other classifier.
No, and they have different
slop too.
They have different sizes.
It saves that flop. That splash out that if you get too aggressive with the normal classifiers,
it'll come out these won't.
It out if you're not careful.
Right. Well, these are nice and deep, so you can put in like 3 shovelfuls, big rocks, small rocks, everything. As long as that bucket is full of water and you fill that classifier with material, you just turn it 3 times and it's completely done. You can't shovel fast enough.
Yep. They're built really heavy duty, and then like I was saying, they have multiple sizes too. They have a few different sizes for whatever application.
1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch are the 3 most popular. I use a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch for it. I don't use the 1/8 inch. I have one, I just don't use it.
Right. Well, I'd imagine the most popular would be the 1/4 inch. I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think so. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Yep. Well, good deal. All right, we got a few more comments here. Let's go ahead and run through them real quick. Paul Gray says, "Is tungsten magnetic?"
No,
Mr. Shane. No.
Nope. So it makes it even more difficult to remove it from your pan. That's why I chose it. That's why I chose tungsten. It's super heavy. It's non-magnetic. Sometimes I have like bullets, lead. I'll throw little pieces of lead in there, which is easy to remove, but
yeah.
Most tungsten is powder that I put in the Impossible bags. It's actual tungsten powder. It's used for calibrating scales, and it's really expensive. I only get like this much in a container. They give you a very small amount. It's like $20, but it's the only thing that I can put into these pay dirt bags to make it that much tougher.
Yeah, make it more challenging, and gain a little bit more experience panning them. Excuse me. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So let's see here. Paul Gray says, "Seaside beach up by the Peter Iredell, going north up to the mouth of the Columbia, is coated with black sand." When I went on my trip, I don't know why the hell I didn't bring my pan. I bring my pan everywhere I go, but I think the trip was mainly for me and my fiance just to enjoy ourselves. So I don't think she would have been too happy if she saw a pan coming with us. I think I would have got kicked in the ass for that one. So let's see. Mr. Sean says, "Jaron, you need some good old Maine lobster stew, best in the world. I guarantee it." I would love to sit here and say, send me some, but I know that it would get spoiled. So one of these days I'll get my ass over there and definitely try that out.
Yep.
Let's see. Andrew says, "I dig in the Queen Tut area, Arizona, where tungsten was also found. Hard panning." So you're basically panning his most extreme bag that he has every time you go out. So that means that you are probably an expert panner.
Yeah, it's no joke.
Oh, let's see here. Blake says, "Hello, gentlemen. What's up, brother, man? Good to have you on the podcast tonight." Let's see. Andrew says, "Where near Kettle Falls or Chewelah should I be?" Let's see. So Chewelah is before. Let's see. So when I travel up north, I go past Ione, and Ione's way up there, and I keep traveling north past Ione. It loops all the way around to the east. I don't have the exact roads. If you jump on a map, it's very, very quite simple. So So you go up past Ione, take a right. Not take a right, excuse me, stay on that main road. It loops all the way around, brings you straight to Sullivan Campground, and then there's that dirt road. You follow that all the way up, and you just don't stop. It starts raising in elevation, and you just keep driving. You just don't stop driving.
I see. It's right by Sullivan Creek.
Yep.
And Totem Gulch.
Yep.
Thor Creek.
Yep. You keep going all the way up north.
Yep. Yeah, there's dirt roads that go all throughout there.
Oh yeah. Yep. Pick any one of them bad boys.
Too. Little tiny creeks.
Yep, there's tons of them. They're all spread throughout there, and the nice thing is, like I said, is a majority of that is all mountain runoff. So it's good, really good panning, really good.
Get some good.
You're heading out towards Idaho, going out that way. You're heading east on those.
Roads. So you follow. Yep, or should I do this since Idaho would technically? Yeah, so you're following it all the way up. You're pretty damn close to the Canadian border. I've gotten a lot closer than I wanted to be comfortably, but at the same time, when you have gold fever, it takes you to
drive
places.
Anywhere.
It takes you to places that maybe you shouldn't be. Let's see here.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area up there. Adam, my good buddy Adam's been begging me, hey man, bring me up there, and I've been wanting to get up there. And this is literally the first year in the last, I want to say 6 or 7 years that I actually haven't been up there. First year, which kind of is a bummer, but summer's not over yet. I'm sure I'll get my butt up there.
It's like the furthest northeast in the state of Washington that you can get. It's right up in there, Salmo Priest Wilderness. It's very green looking. I got to go there.
It's full blown forestry. I mean, zero cell service, which, like I said earlier, it's a double-edged sword. You like to have it for the safety aspect, but at the same time, it's nice to just turn it off and go and not stop, So, yeah,
That's
it's
perfect.
definitely a beautiful area up there. Let's see. Blake says, I want to go panning my grandparents' land up in Colville. They have a nice big creek from runoff of the mountains. How would I go about that? Let's see here. So specifically check rules and regulations first and foremost. And by doing that, you can contact, what is there? It's the name's always different in every single state, but technically it's Bureau of Land Management, quote unquote. It's the people who take care of the forest. Contact them, tell them, hey, I want to go out painting this creek or this area. What is the rules and regulations? First and foremost, get all that situated. Make sure that there's no claims that are up there, Make sure there's no claim markers, anything staked. And then go from there. Once you have all that information situated, and it's free access, it's not on private land or anything like that, get up there and try it out, man. Grab yourself a pan, get up there and start digging. And specifically what to look for. Shane, if you want to iterate on that, or James, one of you guys, the kinds of things to look out for.
Yeah, My Land Matters. You guys know about that. Is that do you have that for Washington State too?
I believe so. Arrow, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we do.
Yeah, I think you do. I know there's like most of the gold states have it. I go there and then find out where the claims are or are not, and that's how you know where the gold is. Right? That's a really easy way to figure out, is there gold in this area or not. Just go to My Land Matters. Look, it'll tell you placer and lode, and then once you figure out where it is, then I just usually, what I do is I'll just go downstream like one block, and I know there's no claims there, and I'll just try that, because as long as it's not private, because for private land, that's just as important. You don't want to go in somebody's backyard and start digging it up. So what I do is I check out the county assessor's map, and it'll tell you who owns that property, if anybody, or if it's on national forest or state land or open space or whatever. And then you can it'll give you a phone number and everything right there on the assessor's map. So that's how I make sure that I'm legal wherever I go.
So there you go, Blake.
But it's really easy. My Land Matters, assessor's map.
And then basic geology.
Yeah.
What rocks to look for? Schist, gneiss, granite, your quartzes,
different cobble,
that intrusion, your cobble,
your mineralization inside of all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you get into something that's got a bunch of cobble and it's super loose, go right on past it. Somebody was already there. Like you find something that it's super hard packed. I really say use your nose. You're gonna smell it. I mean, it's usually, to me, what I find the best streaks we get on have a stink. It's old earth. You know.
Yeah.
Especially when we're up on a bench or something and we're not digging in a creek. Then
you can see it. You can tell if it's tightly packed or if it's just loose. I mean, it's it takes years and years to get tightly packed like that. Round river cobbles with all that gravel, and you can see the layers in it. That doesn't happen overnight.
Right. Yep.
Exactly. Only Mother Nature can stack rock that way. Right. We can't do it. You know, another thing I look for is unnatural piles of rock in the creek. And I actually like to move those because it was something like Shannon said on our first episode. People tend to put rock when they're digging somewhere right on top of virgin ground.
Virgin ground, yep.
And it's like, you know, they don't even think about it. They just want to move this rock and get down there to that bedrock and find the gold. And some of the best places to look is where man has stacked rock already.
Yep.
Move that pile out of the way and go under there and see what's going on because nobody's done it. They just put rock on top of it. So. Yep.
Well, and another thing to look out for, if you're on a bigger, should I say wider creek, always look 10, 15, 20 feet up. Always look along those bank areas where maybe there was a flood that came through, or maybe it was that high, thousands of years ago, and maybe it deposited the gold along the bank 15, 20 feet up. So always check your surroundings. See the earth will speak to you and say, hey, dig here. You don't necessarily ever want to start digging off the top either, because you'll always have overburden. There will be time and time again where it'll be exposed, so on and so forth, but majority of the time you always want to dig out that overburden, get down to where, like they said, it's hard pack, and then that way you have so much more of a chance of finding gold than you would originally just grab an overburden. And overburden, yeah, go for it.
I was going to say the hard pack is nice, especially when it's on bedrock, because then you're like, that's like literal gold mine, gold mine.
Leprechaun waiting at the bottom.
That's right.
Yeah, man. If you're lucky enough to find something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
But as the saying goes, gold is where they found it.
Yep, gold is where you find it.
The old 49ers, they got that easy 5-10% big stuff. They had to. I mean, in today's money, a pan was $2,000. A shovel was $2,000.
Yeah, like Shannon was saying, yeah.
18, but they're, a pan of gold worth $18, but they needed $20 just to pay for that pan. So they had to work hard, and they went for the easiest gold and the biggest gold. Yep. And they left all that flour and flake and wire for us to go get. We just have to find it.
Well, and that's one more thing. While we're on the topic, real quick. That's another thing with that. I went up there probably 6 or 7 different times and went home empty-handed. Don't expect to find it the first time, or even the second time or third time, or like I said, 4th, 5th, 6th time. It took me a long time to finally find it. And when I did, I started reading the geology and how everything is placed, and what boulder to look behind and in front of, and this, that, and the other. Don't expect to find gold your first, second, or third time. If you do, that's awesome. Stay there. But if you don't,
beginner's luck.
Yeah, don't get discouraged. That's for sure.
Yeah, once you move that first giant boulder and then you find nice picker under it, and you haven't found pickers for a long time before, that's like, I got to move more I got to do more work. Then you start moving boulders, you don't find anything after that. It's like, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, then you're like Hulk moving shit all over the place. Where's my gold?
I got the come along in the back of my truck, man. I bring it down to the river, tie it to a tree, around a boulder, moving boulders, and I've had great luck doing that, and it's been skunked too. So,
yep. That's the thing with finding gold is
you just never know.
If everybody could find it, everybody would be doing it.
Everybody'd be rich then, right?
Everybody'd be rich. That's right. All right, let's see here. We're gonna scroll down because we got 22 new comments, so we're gonna pass a couple of these bad boys. Let me see here. Andrew says, please let me know when. I will make that trip for sure. I have a daughter and 9th grandbaby born yesterday morning. Would be amazing. Congratulations, brother, man. That is awesome. Let's see here. Where am I at here? Blake says, thanks, guys. I appreciate the info. Definitely didn't want to be stepping on people's toes. Yeah, no. Big no-no with that. It's a federal offense for one, first and foremost. And secondly, you don't meet a lot of James Dales when it comes to claims. You know, you'll be greeted with somebody who is not happy that you are on their claim. So make sure you do your proper research.
Yeah.
You know, we had an incident over on James's claim. We had just finished the road to get into his claim. You know, we were sore as hell. We fixed a bunch of stuff over there, all with shovels, no heavy equipment. And the next morning, we were excited to get going, go to town, set up the 3-in-1 high banker, you know, run some dirt. And we got there first thing in the morning, and somebody's vehicle was parked in the road. And you know, mind you, there's about 5 or 6 of us. And so we weren't very, very happy about it. And so we figured, you know what? We'll give this guy a chance. We'll go look for him. We looked for about an hour and a half, couldn't find him. We said, the hell with this. We're either going to put this guy's truck in neutral and move it out of our way, or we're going to do the I wouldn't say smarter thing, but, you know, we ended up shooting off a couple of rounds. The guy definitely heard that. Came back to the truck. You know, you could tell he was kind of nervous and anxious, not really knowing what was going on. And a good buddy of mine, Adam, you know, he packs all the time. James packs. You know, everybody with their claims typically packs. So, you know, he was really, really nervous. But James basically said, hey, man, just letting you know, these are all claimed areas. You can't be on it. The guy said, hey, do you want my gold? You know, no worries. And we basically said, you know what, keep your gold,
Keep it.
Move your damn truck so we can get running dirt. Yeah. You know, so typically you won't find people that friendly. It's basically stealing. It's basically theft. If you're on somebody's claim and you're pulling their gold, not a good idea.
Yeah, ignorance really isn't an excuse. If you're out panning for gold, you should know enough to at least know if you're doing it legally.
Yeah,
right.
And in our area, you know, people ask, hey, where can I go pan for gold? I'll tell you right now, Libby Creek Recreational Panning Center. Right?
Yeah, right up the road. Yep.
You can go there. You can pan all day. You can stay for like a week for free, I think it is, in their campground. They have it, you know, it's not dig a hole, go to the bathroom. They have the outhouses, all of it. You can join a club and help run their trommel. There's a great place to go there for anybody that wants to get into panning.
Right.
Doesn't want to step on someone's toes. But Libby Creek Recreational Panning Area, I believe, is the name of it. It's about 8 miles up Libby Creek Road. It's easy to get to.
I think Shane has all the info.
Yeah, no, I do. On my YouTube channel, I'm doing a 50 states of treasure hunting series. So I'm visiting all 50 states. I'm doing some kind of treasure hunting, not necessarily just gold prospecting, but metal detecting and other stuff too.
Right.
I think for Montana, I think Libby Creek National Gold Panning Area is a great option for my Montana episode, or at least one of my Montana episodes.
There you go.
I'm going to put that on my map.
There you go.
And
if anybody, like I was saying earlier, if anybody wants to, anybody wants to get over to Libby, obviously get a hold of James or join Prospecting Buddy, and we'll get something figured out. We're going to have group digs over there. James, if you want to iterate on that with the group dig and whatnot.
Yeah, we'll hold it. We're going to hold another drawing this year. Forest fires were horrible in the Northwest, California, pretty much everywhere over here in the West. So it really put a damper on everybody's gold mining season. I was even talking to Rob with Snapshot about it.
Oh, yeah.
It crushed him too. But so we had to cancel out the group dig for this year. Anybody that was already had a slot for that group dig, you still have your slot. We're going to, instead of having it so late in the year to protect that group dig, we're going to do it July 15th from now on, first day of dredging season. We'll just start out with a group dig. We'll hold a new drawing for some extra people come January at some point. Jaron and I will we'll notify you through here, and we'll do it on the page as well. I think that'll be okay. And we'll have one again in 2022 and make up for this fire season, and we'll just do it sooner so we don't have to worry about it.
Maybe we'll do it during a giveaway. One of my giveaways that I do. Maybe we'll do it during then. Make it even more fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So we got 3 more comments. Mr. Sean, he said, I have smelled that smell. Oh, yeah, that smell. LOL. Sean also says, the best time to read a creek is when it's raining hard, best viewed from a distance in some of the places I go, but a raging creek can speak to you in volumes. Lots of intel. And last comment for right now, took me several times, several trips, honestly. LOL, I got my first gold at Mount Creek Gold Mine. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Well, it is about that time. Let's go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll be back with a few more questions for the second segment, and then we'll call it an evening. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. All right, let's do it too.
A little bit.
Sounds good. What's going on, everybody? We are back for the Digging Deeper podcast with special guest, Mr. Shane Klesh.
What's up?
All right, so back to the question board. So some of the videos that you have made on YouTube, I'm sure some of the viewers have some questions for, and some of the questions that I'm going to ask, I'm sure that they want to ask or probably curious about.
Sure.
First and foremost, this is one of the personal questions that I've wanted to ask you. What would you say would be your biggest gold nugget you have in your collection? I knew I'd get that reaction out of him. That's why I had to ask it as the first question.
Hold on. I have it right here. I got a couple big ones. You can hear me okay, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, the biggest one, well, here, I'll show you my three largest. So this one, that's a crystallized gold nugget. That thing weighs about 10 grams.
Wow.
It's crystallized, right? And this came from,
you don't
I think this came from the Spokane area too. So
is that right?
Yeah.
That
or
is
Idaho.
phenomenal.
It's a gift from Dave from Gold Bay, the owner of Gold Bay Pay Dirt. He sent this to me as a gift.
That looks like
it looks like a baseball mitt, I call it.
Yeah, it looks like a baseball mitt.
Wallace Formation
like,
gold. That's totally
crystallized gold.
God,
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Extremely rare piece. So that's you know.
That's
now this one here.
That's so special. That's a special.
This is my second largest nugget. And this is a gift from Grant from Nuggets by Grant. That's called the Australian Lightning Bolt.
Wow.
Thing is
holy
insane,
crap.
right?
Wow.
This is from Australia.
What does that bad boy weigh, you think?
23.57 grams.
Wow.
My second biggest.
Wow.
Right?
You need to put those bad boys in a display case right above. You got a little bit of room right above your head.
It even has a little light right here and stuff.
Oh, there you go. You do got
a little
nice
display thing. And then my largest gold nugget, I purchased it. I did not find these. I mean, God. This one, I call it Dumbo. It's 24.7 grams. It looks like a little elephant. I don't know if you can see it.
Awesome.
It has like a little trunk there at the tip.
Yeah.
You see it? On the other direction, it looks more like an elephant. If you
wow, right there. Yeah.
Like a flying elephant. But yeah, that's Dumbo.
Wow.
That's my biggest gold nugget.
That is gorgeous. And what does that weigh?
That is 24.7 grams.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, there's all three in my little display case.
Dude, that is
not a very good display case. But yeah, man, look at that.
That is awesome.
There you go.
What's that, James?
I want bigger ones.
What would be the largest piece you have personally found?
So up in Alaska at Crow Creek Mine in Crow Creek Mine near Moose Pass, Alaska. I think it's where it was. It's under a gram. And then the other ones, it's a tie up in British Columbia on the Fraser River with Dan Hurd and Pioneer Polly.
So bad.
We found some nice big pieces there too, and I have those pieces right here. They're a little bit harder to see because I didn't clean it on purpose. I wanted to keep the dirt with them.
It was. Yeah.
Just because it's part of British Columbia and the Fraser River, but you can see in there some pretty nice big chunks. Those are some of the bigger ones that I found that day with those guys.
Awesome.
Actually, Dan and Paulie both found a bunch of gold, and they gave, and plus the gold that I found, and they just threw it in my pan and like, here you go, welcome to Canada. You know, one of those.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that is
awesome.
That's phenomenal. That's one of the guests that I really want to get on the podcast is both Pioneer Paulie and then Dan. Dan seems like a really down to earth guy.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, he almost seems to me like, you know, back in middle school, you had like that chemistry teacher that was kooky, but really, really cool.
Exactly.
That's kind of
because he is a teacher. He actually is a teacher.
Yeah. He seems like one of those guys. You know, one of those ones.
Teachers, you know,
the only problem I have with Dan Hurd, and this is a really big problem, he likes pineapple on his pizza.
You and my daughter would get along great then.
The good old pineapple debate.
Yeah, that's the problem I got.
Well,
other than that, he's awesome.
Unfortunately, I'm with Dan on that. I love some pineapple.
Oh my goodness!
And Canadian bacon. Oh man!
Wow.
It's a mix of the sweet and sour. It's a mix of the sweet and sour kind of deal, where it's
that makes no sense.
Shane's like, whatever, Darren, whatever, man.
See, I'm an East Coast guy. I'm from Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey area. Italians, right?
Yeah.
You don't do that to a pizza.
No.
But it's like I grew up with pizza, like,
right.
Every block had a pizza place. If you had pineapple on your pizza, it's like those places would, suspiciously get burned to the ground. Like that's how serious it is where I'm from. So.
I don't doubt it one bit. Yeah. The mob would come and pick you up if you had pineapple on your pizza.
You got it.
All right, let's see here. So another question that I wanted to ask that I'm sure a lot of viewers, would love to get the chance to be able to ask is the $10,000 pay dirt video, brother. When that first came to your house, that package first came to your house, were you pretty giddy to open that bad boy up or what?
It sat, I'll tell you what, man. Yes, because that bucket sat outside in my panning station for like 2 months before I could even film it, because it was during the winter. And I had like all these other videos lined up, and I was like, man, I can't wait to open this thing. Because those videos, I know they're gonna have a lot of views.
Right.
So I put extra care and attention to detail in those videos and making sure that every shot is correct, and then refilming certain things because it didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it. And then post-production with the color balancing and the zoom ins and like every little detail of those videos. There's a lot of effort put into those videos. And while I was filming it, I physically started getting tired because there was so much dirt to go. I mean, I'm doing a whole bucket, It's the video is only 20 or 30 minutes long, but in reality, it's like 2 days of like, oh my god,
doing this.
Yeah.
Doing this.
Yeah. But that was exciting.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, when I watched that video, I damn near fell on the ground. I mean, you're sitting there, yeah, man, and you just see this piece of gold pop out, and this one pop out, and this one pop out, and you're just at the edge of your seat, and you're like, "Come on, Shane, more dirt."
Stuff is crazy, man.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, this pan has 4 or 5 grams of gold in it again.
Another
like
pan. No. Yeah, we're all drooling at the mouth here. That's for sure.
Oh, the only
got a lot of gold.
What's that, James?
I only have that problem. It's only 4.5 grams of pan.
Yeah, no biggie. Grab another pan.
Dude, back, the 49ers, man, when they would pan gold, they would get a 1/4 ounce, half an ounce.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of gold.
Oh yeah.
Right.
For anybody. There's scraping right off the bedrock.
There's stories of Alder Gulch in Montana where they would pull sagebrush out of the ground and it was a $20 pan. Boom.
Jeez.
Shake it into the pan it
Yeah,
out.
because the roots catch everything.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Fingers hold on to all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's and the saying potato nuggets. That's a real thing.
Oh yeah. In Liberty.
They were finding potato nuggets. We're talking multiple ounce freaking just chunks.
Handful potatoes, yes.
Yeah, just pulling chunks. And you got to think,
Washington.
The pricing back then compared to the pricing now, I mean, man, I feel bad for them guys because they were pulling, and at the time, the pricing for gold was just near nothing.
Yeah,
just near nothing.
Yeah, it's true. However, even back in 1850, 1 ounce of gold could buy you a good suit.
Right.
Today, an ounce of gold can buy you a good suit. So it's inflation. You got the U.S. government printing. I don't want to get into politics, but they're printing literal trillions of dollars. You know what a trillion looks like?
Yeah.
If you put a million next to a trillion, you can't even see the million. Like that's how big a trillion is. You can't even see and they're printing that.
Yeah,
that's why everything gets more expensive.
Oh yeah,
but
full-blown inflation, that's for sure. Yeah, and that's the funny thing
too. Channel, I don't even want to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was another thing that I'm going to bring up here after a few questions. But yeah, that's what's crazy, you know, is back then, you know, the miners were being mined more than the miners were bringing home gold themselves with denim,
It
you
wasn't
know,
the
with
miners
their
making the money, right? It was the guys supplying the miners with what they need: the pants, the shovels,
Right.
the denim,
That's true.
the
That's
bacon, the beans, you know,
Yeah.
the wood from the sawmill, you know, all that stuff. You know, those are the guys.
They needed to eat, and they needed a place to stay, and they needed tools and everything. You know,
and that goes all the way back, full circle to why there's still so much left.
Right.
They had to get the quick, big, easy potato nuggets, you know, the cashew sizes of gold. I mean,
and there's no way, there's no possible way they got all those big nuggets. They're still out there.
There's still nuggets out there. I mean, I have a claim that's on a creek that it got hit really hard, but there's areas still that we find that so solid that we had the hammer drill out.
Awesome,
how we were busting it up so that we could get through it and get it through the wash plant even.
That would be fun.
You know,
it is. 8 days can't come soon enough.
It's still out there. Do your research. I mean, not just like, you know, if you're looking to stay off people's claims, but if you're looking for your own, I always say look for those old ones. And look at them closely. Go out there and dig on it.
Like you said before,
West, you got 90 days with the BLM when you post it. So when you get out there and you want to explore that claim, you know.
Ancient riverbeds is where you're going to find it. All that overburden. Move the overburden, ancient riverbeds. Yeah.
You know the creek's going to have its runoff and flood gold in it. You know that's going to happen every spring if you got good runoff. But look outside that creek. Jaron hit it for a second earlier. Water bodies move. The Missouri River in Montana, over the millions of years, it's moved 300 miles north to south.
And the trick is finding where it was and moving the overburden.
Figuring out and learn how to read a topographic map.
Right.
That's one of the big ones I can tell. I always say.
Right. That'll tell you where your river is and was. Came from. Yep. That's great. Great information.
Let's see here. So next one, which is pretty funny. Mr. Klesh in Japan.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Klesh in Japan. What the hell were you doing over there, brother?
Oh, I was looking for gold, of course. So that's what I did. I've been all over the place, Australia and Korea, Japan, and Europe, all over the place, the UK, just looking for gold, making videos. And I mean, I do YouTube for a full-time job. So any expenses that come with it, it's tax write-off. So it's what expensive, crazy place do I go to this year to balance my taxes out?
Russia.
So so that's kind of why. I've done the Washington. I'll come back for sure. But yeah, Japan. I'm surprised how much gold I actually found there with the small amount of time that I spent actually panning for gold. I did most of my. Yeah, I found some good gold there. A lot of lead, a lot of fishermen over there too, and the metal detecting over there. Nobody owns a metal detector in Japan, so everything is like virgin ground, dude. I metal detected probably a 20-foot by 20-foot square in a public park, and I found 2 watches. I found like 10 batteries, like all kinds of coins. Just like the ground is just hot with tar.
Full blown virgin.
It's insane, man, because there's so many people on this island for thousands of years, and it's just everything's everywhere, man. If you're gonna go to Japan, go metal detecting there.
That's awesome. Well, and the thing is, like you just said, you know, they've been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So there's, you know, from the ancient dynasties all the way up until recent, you know, there's just so much freaking stuff in the dirt. I can only imagine.
And they have natural gold. They have plenty of gold there, man. If you watch the video, you've seen, I mean, I dug behind that one boulder. I found all those pieces of lead, those fishing weights, and all that gold. I was like, wow, dude, I was
crazy.
So surprised. I would be happy just finding a couple I just wanted to see what was there. Honestly, I
Right.
wasn't really doing that much. I dug
Right.
behind a boulder. I moved a rock that was wedged,
Mhm.
and I did pretty well. Anybody could do it.
No, that's awesome, especially in Japan of all places. I mean, you usually see YouTube videos of within the States or Canada
Yeah.
or Australia. You very rarely see videos coming,
Right.
from
From other
someone going over to
countries.
Japan. Yeah.
Japan or China or Mongolia or Vietnam or
Right.
Thailand. I'm going to be going to all these places.
I think
India,
everybody looks over
Indonesia, Philippines.
Right.
politics getting away, but I think everybody looks over a really big one is Russia, is far eastern Russia, that side facing Alaska. I mean, there's some amazing platinum encrusted gold up there. I mean, it's,
yeah.
That's my dream. I mean, everybody I hear them go, "Oh, I want to go to Alaska. I want to do that." I'm like, Siberia,
Yeah.
Well, dude, nowhere, Russia, I think would be like the coolest ever.
You know your geography. Look at a map. Where's Japan? It was connected to Russia right there.
Right.
A couple million years ago, it was actually part of Russia. So there's plenty of gold over there, man. It's awesome. And like for some reason, people in Japan, it's a totally different culture. You probably already know that, but like everybody's focused on their work, and they wake up, they go to work, they go home, they go to bed, they wake up, go to work, and they don't enjoy the forest like they do have like some recreation stuff, but they're not. It doesn't seem like there's many people that are that into it. Like people are more focused on just like boring
daily
stuff,
life.
honestly.
Daily boring life.
Rat race stuff.
Man. Not everybody, obviously, but like the majority, because I stayed in Tokyo, and compared to like Denver or something, where I live in Denver area. So in Denver, you see people, but then you go out in the mountains and there's people everywhere. Over in Japan, I go out into the mountains and it's like silent. And this is everywhere. It's like silent.
Wow.
There's nobody around anywhere. It's like everybody's in Tokyo, just 20 miles away,
Wow.
which is like one of the, if not the biggest city in the world, or maybe the second biggest, or it's
close,
giant. And there's nobody in the outskirts. It's just like,
yeah, that's crazy. I personally never knew that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. That's crazy. I think the tradition that they have over there is just like you said, Shane. It's wake up, go to work, come home, feed your family. Same thing every single day, day in and day out. I don't think, at least over here in the States, we're so spoiled with the different types of geology that we have. Yeah,
a lot of cool stuff here. But I mean, so is Japan, dude. They got Mount Fuji. You can see Mount Fuji from Tokyo. It's this giant snow cap. You know what Mount Fuji is.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, I'm surprised there's not more people around. Like everybody just seems to not care or something. It's just, that's what it seemed like.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, and the funny thing is too, is it only takes that one person or that one group, that starts expanding that over there. And I'm sure it'll happen here soon enough. I mean, we're in such a society nowadays where, even the craziest hobbies that no one's ever thought of, there's a whole group for them, so I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine here in the, in the very, very near future, especially with like the lockdowns and stuff like that. I'm sure, obviously there's different rules and regulations per country and everything with the way that they do everything with their civilians and whatnot. But I'm sure it'll take off here soon. I don't doubt it. I really don't doubt it.
That leads me to a great question. Shane, when you're traveling to foreign countries, who do you get a hold of to find out if it's legit for you to go prospecting?
That's a great question. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to buy a ticket, go to Japan and start digging.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into, I found a good deal for a Japan flight. What do I need to do it legally? So if you watch my Japan videos, I have a bunch of them, but the first one, I find a silver ring. And there happened to be a policeman like within shouting distance.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I was like, sumimasen, I found this. And that means, excuse me, here's a ring. I found it. Anything of value that you find in Japan, supposed to legally turn it in.
Wow.
So that's what I did. So, I mean, I have some and at the same time, when I turned in that handful of watches and coins, the cops just went like this, like, get away from me. So I still have some of my trash. But like some of the rings and stuff I gave, especially that one silver ring,
Yeah.
The gold that I found, I was allowed to keep that, so I still have a little vial of Japanese gold here. It's not a lot, but I have some, and I was able to bring that back.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
That's
you got to do your research. Like over in the UK and Australia, for instance, when I went to Australia, before I went, I had to go online and pay I think it was $30 for a miner's right, it's called, before you can mine in Australia. In the UK, any gold that I found when I was over there, I had to put it back.
What?
It didn't belong to me. Yeah, I had to put it back.
Wow.
What?
So, yeah,
wow.
It's owned by the Queen. So,
wow, I did not know that.
The Queen owns all the gold in the land.
Yeah, but you'll see these other. Like, depends where you're at. Like, there's Queen's Land, or I forget exactly what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
There's areas that you prospect and you get to keep it. There's a couple other places in Scotland, like Tyndrum and Lead Hills and Wanlock Head, and these different places where you can go panning and you could keep the gold. I did not go to those places. I went to a different place, so that's why I
gotcha. Yeah, that's crazy.
Anyway, I found flour gold. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
But
right.
It was just the video, just the purpose of making the video. That's why I went there. So
no, that's freaking awesome, man. Just to say that you went over there and found gold in general. It's not all about keeping it all the time, It's
an adventure. It's
dude.
My Scotland video yet, where I rent this car. I go 6,000 miles away. I get to this dead end in the snow in April. I'm like, well, is this the end of the road? No, I gotta find it. Like, you have to see it. But
no, I'm definitely gonna look for that video. I have not seen that video yet.
Or that one.
It's called Gold Prospecting in Scotland, I think is the title of it, something like that.
Yeah, jump on YouTube. For anybody watching, I'm sure you guys know Shane Klesh. Jump on YouTube, search his name in the bar up top there, and he has a bunch of freaking awesome videos. I noticed he has some educational videos for panning, different panning techniques. And then another really awesome thing that I saw that you were doing was smelting. Is that something that you tried out for a first time and kind of put it down, or is that something that you think you would do again?
Oh, definitely want to do it again. I want to get into blacksmithing and the whole 9 yards. Unfortunately, I live in an apartment, so I can't really do it.
Right.
So like any smelting that I do that you see is done with like a MAP gas torch and a little crucible, and that's pretty much it. I don't even have a furnace or nothing.
Right.
But I'm in the process of looking for houses. But as everybody knows right now, the prices of houses
it's impossible. Yeah.
So it's impossible. It's literally impossible to purchase a home right now.
Yeah.
Unless you're a multi-billion-dollar, institution or something that's buying all the houses, which is why the prices are going up, and that goes back to the finance stuff. But I'm not going to get into. But it all comes back down to that. But I do want to get in the smelting and all that stuff, processing gold and silver and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's the funny thing is I was watching a lot of different videos. It was one or two videos that I saw Dan do, and then a couple other videos, and I thought, well, shit, I might as well try it out. It's one of those things on the bucket list.
Yeah.
And I failed miserably, probably about 5 or 6 different times. I still got about 4.5 grams in a lead button that is probably going to sit in that. It's probably going to sit in that lead belt, that lead button for a while. But one thing that I did, I was able to fully accomplish was I ended up smelting this bad boy.
Oh wow!
Here,
is that gold?
Yeah. Come on. It ain't gonna want to do it because my face is in the frame.
I can see it. Yeah.
But so this is 13.5 grams.
Wow.
It took me, I think, 4 melts to finally get it to that stage, and then once I got it to that stage, it was pretty funny. It was still really, it still looked like it was full blown smelt. You still got to buff it and this, that, and the other. And that was another thing on the bucket list. Well, I've never really buffed jewelry or gold or anything like that in my life. Well, sure shit, I spent 7-8 hours buffing the crap out of this thing. I probably lost. Yeah, so I took a Dremel and I had all these different attachments, these different buffing
compounds and everything.
Yeah, buffing compounds and wheels and I lost a lot more than I thought I was going to lose. I lost about 3 grams worth of gold in the process. But
it doesn't travel with it anymore.
I don't try. Yeah. So funny story about that. So I would go over to James's claim and I'd wear this thing for protection, sort of kind of like a protection deal, something just gives me security. As when I'm out on the road, you see all those crosses along these roads where people have got, hit deers and died and, passed away. And so, it's just an extra little piece of comfort for me. And, so I got over there the first time and I never take it off. And I took it off. I went to bed, staying at the hotel we were talking about earlier. And, I took it off and I hung it up on the wall there. And I woke up the next day, went out to the claim, got everything cleaned up, was getting ready to head back home, about 2-hour drive. And I got to the claim and I'm doing this. Oh, no. Oh, So I call the hotel. The hotel's like, well, I don't know what to tell you, this, that, and the other. On my way back, of course. And so then I finally got there, and the lady said, yeah, one of the ladies put it in a little cellophane bag and brought it up to the counter. And at that point in time, I knew I will never, ever, ever wear that thing again. It's more just a collector's piece to hold on,
dude.
Yeah, 13 and a half grams.
And you made it, so it's even more important than just 13 grams.
That goes to show you, good people.
Yeah.
We talk about Libby all the time, good people. Yeah. And Libby's is a town. It's a super fun cleanup site. It's been through hell. I mean, it was asbestos.
Up until the late 90s. Up until the late 90s, like 90s, when they finally found out.
There, okay?
Yeah, when they finally figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's W.R. Grace. The school is a new school. All the schools are new schools. They used to be a AA school town. They went down to C. For their school sports. They finally climbed back up to A. That town's been through hell. And I really feel that the community there, and it's one of the reasons I don't mind going 40 miles one way to get to the claim, is the community's great. They're so appreciative that they're finally getting that. People are coming to that place again. And of all weird things, like I was talking to Jaron yesterday, I believe, is COVID has done one good thing. Is it's grown the prospecting community. People
big time
looked for something to do. They were locked down, and what can you do? It's even less preparation than fishing. It's
way. Oh yeah.
You just
bring a pan down to the creek.
A pan and a shovel, and that's where usually all of us start. Is a pan and a shovel.
Yep,
that's it.
And it can, to some people, that's where it stays. And some of us, full blown explode.
Crazy.
Turn into a life.
Let's just go off the deep end.
Yep.
You ever can, and I hope you do get to film that episode at Libby Creek Recreation Center.
It sounds awesome.
Spend some time in the town. There is a wonderful heritage museum. You'll learn a lot. I mean, it's insane.
So, I'm looking at a map of it. It's right on the Kootenay River.
Kootenay River.
Kootenay.
I'm just pronouncing it as it's spelled.
You'll get it eventually there, Shane. I'm sure you will.
Kootenay. It's the Kootenay.
The good old Kootenay.
Got it. Kootenay.
All right, with that being said, at the end of the broadcast here, for everybody that is still here, I want you guys to know that Klesh does have multiple different aspects to his videos. He has Klesh Gaming. Actually, I'll let you go ahead and let everybody know what kind of different videos you got.
Sure. So I do have like 3 different YouTube channels. I've got a finance channel because I have my main channel, Klesh, where it's all treasure hunting. And then I also have a channel called Klesh Guitars because I am actually a guitar builder as well. So that channel is called Klesh Guitars. You can go over there. You can see all these guitars behind me and stuff. And I go into detail and buy brand. Like I just bought this Les Paul. I do
That's a beautiful Les Paul
and stuff on it.
My brother has that guitar. He calls it his.
It's pretty nice. Well, if you watch the video, you might have second thoughts about Les Paul, but we'll just leave it at that. Because I have, I have the expensive macro lens and everything, and I go zoom in. I'm a guitar maker, and I'm looking for these details. And when I buy a guitar from Gibson, I'm expecting not perfection, but I'm expecting
up there.
Just watch the video. Klesh Guitars on YouTube.
Soldering. I've heard the soldering isn't very.
Actually, that was one of the better parts of that guitar,
cool.
but. I also have a finance channel because I am also a cryptocurrency investor and a coin collector. So Klesh TV on YouTube. It's all about, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and stuff like that. And also my coin collection back behind me here. Like you can see it right there. Some of my coins. Yep. I have like an extensive coin collection. I do live streams over there. I used to do them a lot more, but I don't do them as much anymore because I got so much other stuff going on. But yeah, coins, finance, cryptocurrency, Klesh TV, and then Twitch gaming. I just like to play video games and scream at the screen and die a lot. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, of course, I have Instagram, Facebook. There's a Discord channel, TikTok, even and all the social media things that I hardly ever go on, but I have them because everybody else does. And I'm a social media influencer now, so I have to have them, and I don't even go on them. But yeah, you can find me on all those platforms.
Definitely, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast this evening, dude. I know that, like I said, I know you're a busy man. I know you got a lot of things going on, and I'm very excited that we were able to get you on the podcast, and I'm hoping that we can get you on another episode, further down the road.
Dude. Absolutely. Just let me know. And like we did this time, you just tell me when and I'll schedule around it because like I said, my schedule is just the most random thing you could possibly imagine. So
that is my schedule as well.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
When you're a YouTuber and you don't go to work 9 to 5 anymore, it's 24/7 working. So
and especially
I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, it's not work when you enjoy it. It's a whole different thing, man. It's awesome.
Well, and that's the funny thing. That's the funny thing with that is you go from a 9 to 5 and then you come home and it's more than a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, man, because when you're working for somebody else, you're making them rich, you're renting your body and brain to somebody else.
Yep.
For whatever shekels they're paying you.
Yep.
And it's like, I used to work in a factory. I'd work 16-hour days, nights, because I worked night shift 6 days a week. I mean, I was working crazy hours. And while I'm there, I'm like, man, is this life? Is this it?
Right.
I'm, in a train yard for 16 hours in the dark. It's like in the middle of the winter. It's like, then I get to go home when it's light out, go to bed for 3 hours, wake up and come back here and do this again.
The same thing.
It's like, man, I moved out that was in Pennsylvania. I moved out to Colorado, and then I just started, driving for Lyft to make ends meet. And I started I found out about panning for gold, started bringing my camera, and people started watching the videos, and that changed everything.
Dude, that's awesome.
So, yep.
Well, like I said, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. I mean, I'm sure the viewers have absolutely loved all of the different topics that we've talked about. And, like I said, I'd love to get you on another episode, man.
Anytime, man. Thanks a lot for having me.
Definitely.
Nice meeting you guys.